Hey y'all, if you're new here, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review, reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 5, Episode 6. And if you're wondering why I have this blanket on, it is cold at night, but it's warm during the day right now. So at this point, yeah, I'm not ready. Like, I turned the heat on and it was too hot. I turned it off, it's too cold, so I'm just gonna put the blanket on for now and see what happened. I'm not. I can't do cold, but like this weather is just crazy. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Y'all already know last week was the big brawl at the beauty supply. So of course this week we got to pick up where we left off and get into it. Before I jump into it, if you've watched my content before and you enjoy it, definitely hit the subscribe. Y'all already know, like, I post just as much content as your fave. So go ahead and help me out and hit that subscribe button. Like, comment, share. If you watched the end of the video and you enjoyed it, definitely help your girl out and hit the like button. I will truly appreciate it. And we're just going to go ahead and get it started. So Tiffany visits Destiny at Madani. And the streets are talking saying Madani is closed. Somebody, if you in the area, let me know. Is it open? Is it closed? Like, what's going on with it? But Destiny is catching Tiffany up on her event. And they discuss Stormy. And Tiffany was saying that, you know what, I think Stormy had good intentions because we know Stormy had issues with both of them before. They had issues with each other. Everybody had issues at some point on this show. But they agree, like, you know, Tiffany's olive branch may have been genuine, but Destiny's guard is still up. Her attitude's still a little too stank for me. Understandably so, because they tore up her event. But it's like, who is it directed at? Like, Stormy didn't really do anything in this moment. And so at least she's open to trying to see if they can build a relationship from here. So Destiny is still saying that Mel didn't speak. We know she did, but it was a very low, like, whisper. Like, come on now. Like, I mean, they had to keep replaying it back with, like, captions so we can hear it. Like, if it had to be all that, then it wasn't loud enough that she could hear her. Granted, if she did hear her, like, okay, she would have said hi, and then what? You still don't want nothing to do. Like, you still feel a way that she showed up. You still feel a way about her. So would you have received it? Probably not. So does it even really matter? So she said that she got an apology from everyone except the person who pretty much got the whole mess started. And we know who she's implying. So then we see Tisha, and she pulls up at Kimmy and Maurice's place, and Marcel's supposed to come as well, but Tisha said that they had gotten into an argument the night before after the event, so she doesn't know if he's even going to come. But she was telling them, like, you know, they got about the argument and that he's disrespectful, and quite frankly, she's just tired of it. Like, she's hurt, like, he's hurt her feelings, and she's sick of the disrespect, like. And she's telling Maurice, like, you need to talk to him because I'm tired of this. Girl, you've been with y'all pride yourselves on being married the longest and being with him for so long. So at this point, do you really think, what is Maurice gonna say? That he ain't probably said already after all these years. You ain't worked before, it ain't gonna change now. You ain't gonna leave, he ain't gonna change. At this point, it's almost like, yeah, I agree. You shouldn't be disrespected or talked to any kind of way, but you should have set these boundaries a long time ago. So Marcel arrives, and he said that he and Martel had a conversation after the event, and they immediately squashed it. Like, that's settled real fast. So they ain't holding on to nothing. But Marcel said if Miss Wanda, you know, can't control herself, that she won't be a part of his life. Like, she'll be a part of Tisha's life, but not his life. Impossible. She's your mother-in-law. She's your children's grandmother. So even if you know, we're not speaking it, but if y'all were to separate or anything of that nature, she's connected to you through your children. So it's not like you'll just never see this woman ever again. You're tied to her in some kind of way for the rest of your life through those children. And then on top of that, she's your wife's mother. And she, you know, she's an overbearing mother-in-law. She always been. So, you know, at this point, everybody's just, like, having an issue with Miss Wanda. And quite frankly, Tisha just need to keep her mama off the show. Like, I was watching somebody's reviews. I'm sorry, I forgot who it was. Otherwise, I would say their name, so I do apologize. But they had a great point that, actually, let me look it up real quick. Hold on. Okay, so the YouTubers live I was watching is giving you the real T, capital T, and that's where I got it from, where he made the comment that maybe Tisha can just do like scenes with her mother so she doesn't have to completely be off the show. Like her and Tisha can do scenes alone, and that's it. Like Wanda shouldn't be filming with nobody else. Nobody wants to film with her at this point. So yeah, you can have her on there. What they'll be talking about, I don't know. Maybe y'all can do something with the kids. We ain't seen them kids in a while. Like y'all can do that. But other than that, like, no, get her off the show because it's just causing too much drama. Like everybody's saying the same thing. Funky said it later, and we'll get into that. So I mean, it's just been an ongoing thing. Everybody's pretty much been saying the same thing. So then we move on, and oh, I'm sorry, I almost forgot. They did ask, they were talking about Marcel and Martel working together again. And Tisha, like, I don't want to work with Martel at this point. Like, y'all almost got into a fight again. So why would I want to work with him? Like, I don't want to work with him. And Marcel was like, well, you know what, if my wife doesn't want to and she's the president, like, let's not forget she's running the show. So she needs to stop acting like she the employee. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's the president, so let's not do this. Like, you're the decision maker ultimately. But so it sounds like they're not gonna be working with him. I don't know why they would. Like, granted, I'm glad y'all were able to squash the issue right away, and that's great. But I mean, there's just too much tension, and Martel is the main one who shouldn't. I know he wants to get back in, but he shouldn't be wanting to work with anybody. Like, at this point, I wouldn't want to work with him. He needs to be doing his own thing. If he would just get that license, this wouldn't be an issue. So Martel comes to Melody's house and they discuss what took place at the event. And so this is just going to be the episode, hearing the same story over and over and over again. Over and over again. It made me think about that Nelly song that he had with that country singer. Let y'all can see this episode wasn't all that interesting, but I'm going to go ahead and give y'all what I got. Okay? So he comes to her house and they're talking about that. Melody appreciates that Martel had her back, and, you know, of course she would have his back in return, and it's all great to see they're on the same page, blah, blah, blah. But it's really sad that they fell out. Like, it's like finally y'all get into like a nice co-parenting, like, thing that y'all got going, because he like, we're still family at the end of the day. As long as we got those 4 kids, we're going to be family. Are you saying that to the other mother? Are you telling her that too? Or I'm just wondering. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But it's like, then they fell out again. And it's just a shame, but they just can't remain on this page. But they're complaining about filming with Miss Wanda at this point. Like, Melody's flat out refusing. Like, she's not going to film with her. And we know Melody got the most pull because, shoot, she the one that got the whole show started in the first place. So they talk and they're like, you know what, let's have dinner with everyone being basically the comeback group. And it's like, even though we're not trying to come back for the comeback group no more, like, but we are trying to come back as a friend group. So they want to meet and do that. Melody's down. And, you know, I guess it's fine. It would be nice to see just the original cast together again, even though it's so drastically different than what it used to be, because I've been watching since season 1. I don't know about y'all, but it's so different than what it started for, you know, where we've come. I don't know if it's in a good way. I don't know. I mean, it seems like more bad than good. It's good that y'all got your money up and you got fame and this and that, but was it really worth it at the end of the day? I always wonder that when people get on these shows and it's like, you've literally like lost your whole family. Like, was it worth it? I don't know. Martel will never really come clean and tell us if it was. Moving on, Tiffany comes over to Stormy's, and we see that she has horses, and she was like, I'll let my dog off the leash. He won't go past like the gate. He runs all the way down there. Her husband has to go get him. So, girl, like, why did you even put that dog on a leash or close the gate? Like, but, you know, they were feeding the horses and they were sitting there talking outside. And I kind of, because it was kind of funny, they were outside like the whole time it was about to rain, and then they went to like her patio, which is huge and basically like a room. I wonder why she didn't just let her come in the house. I don't know. But basically we're hearing the same story again, just from Stormy's perspective about the event. Nothing really drastically different than the last 20 times we've heard it. We've seen it with our own eyes. We know what happened. We heard it a million times before. That's the problem with the social media with this show. And really, these own shows, they be all up on. They be on YouTube doing interviews. They be doing everything for the show even get started. Like, we already knew what happened before the show even started. So now it's just like, I don't even want to hear it no more. What else? Like, y'all got renewed for another season, and I'm so happy for Carlos King. But we're gonna have to do something else. So Tiffany ain't even bothering me no more. She just ain't bringing nothing to the show. But Stormy was like, look, that's the most action that Madani had ever gotten since it's been open, so she should be happy about it. When you write, you write. When you write, you write. That is the most action you got. That should have been bringing people to come to Madani. I don't know why the streets are saying it's closed again. Like, after that, it should for sure be open. And it's right across the street from a Dollar Tree. So I know what the area was looking like. It was the perfect area to have a beauty supply. Just from the little bit I saw. Martel meets with his friend Chris. And we've seen him, on and off throughout the seasons. And he's looking to buy. He's saying his lease is almost up. It's going to be up in 6 months. So he's looking to buy a new home. I know he's trying to do, like, different things money-wise. But I'm, like, wondering outside of the show, like, what else? Like, where else are you going to get the money from to buy a new home? Especially since working back in Scope fell through. But they're talking about, he's talking about getting the former comeback group back together. So, and just co-parenting and all that. Nothing really exciting there. Then Stormy invited Destiny to her warehouse. Her warehouse supervisor, never mind, moving on. Destiny would have rather, she's saying, like, look, I didn't appreciate that you bringing that Gucci purse. And Stormy was like, why? And yeah, girl, why? Listen, because somebody was saying, like, oh, she just bought the purse and she had it in the Gucci box. I only have one, but I hold on to my one Gucci box and keep it neat. Because, baby, I worked for it and I got it. I earned it. If you're going to give it to me, honey, I'm going to wear it out. But I understand, like, if you really, truly, like, okay, you my enemy, like, girl, don't give me nothing. Yeah, I would understand. But y'all didn't, it wasn't even that serious to be acting this way. Like, she's dragging it. And I don't know if she's dragging this to pull like a Dr. Heavily move. Like, I don't got to talk about my personal business because I'm dragging on this argument that we had like 2 seasons ago. And I'm just going to drag it on as long as I'm on the show. Like, girl, it was not that deep. Let it go. She said she would have preferred, because she's not no charity case. Okay, I feel you. She would have preferred to have her products in her store, her beauty supply store. Why are you giving products to everybody else and not me? Well, Stormy gave some explanation about using a new distributor and a broker. Girl, tell the truth. Madani was closed. It was closed for business. It wasn't open for business. We wasn't even talking. We beefing. We're not friends. We never were friends. I don't know you like that, so I don't owe you that. And your store is closed. She would be losing money having her product sitting on a dusty shelf. Point blank, period. She could have bought it that day, but let's see how long the store gonna be open this time. You reopened it a few times already. We gotta make sure it's going to be open before I bring anything over there. Y'all better use the oils that's already in there, and then we'll see if I can bring my stuff in there. Because Stormy got her products everywhere. They in the Target and all that. So, Destiny says, Stormy said, like, okay, Destiny should have, she said in her confessional, Destiny should have addressed Melody, like, when she waited till Melody walked out the door and opened the door and yelled, like, oh, next time you need to be speaking if you come into somebody's establishment, and whatever she said. And she was like, basically, that was real corny, like, why didn't you should have said something when Melody walked in not speaking. I agree. If you felt like a way, you should have said something right then and there. What y'all gonna do? Y'all not about to fight. But you should have been like, listen, you don't come up in here, and if you're gonna come in here, you need to speak. You should have said what you said in the store. Why'd you wait till she was all the way down the block and about to tap Miss Wanda on the shoulder to say something? So, but she's like, look, Stormy listening to what Destiny's saying about their fallout, and she really still don't understand. It's giving confusion. She don't know why they're really not friends. Nobody really knows. It's always been unclear. Seems like it was more on Melody's end, honestly, but now Destiny is the one, like, feeling away, and her hurt is showing. Like, her emotions are showing. But Stormy was like, look, y'all need to get together and talk, because she was like, that's our mutual friend. That's like, and she ain't no friend of mine. She don't want to get back and talk with her. She said, I'm Gucci. No pun intended. I thought that was a little funny. So then we saw Funky Dineva. He popped up on the scene at Black. And Tisha and Marcel was just sitting there, and it's like, oh, look, like, there's Q, aka Funky Dineva, who just so happened to walk in the room while we were sitting here with the camera crew dressed and ready, and we're only 2 people in here working today, and what a coincidence. Stop the madness. Y'all come and like, look, Funky said he's supposed to stop by today, so we here today waiting on Funky. So they're having, a little banter, small talk back and forth. Tisha was like, oh, y'all got like a friendship now. Like, it's good to see. And Funky was saying he appreciates his friendship with Marcel because, a lot of masculine men don't want to typically like hang with gay men. Like, they, won't really associate with them like that. Like, it might be on some high vibe, but they won't really like build a friendship. And so I definitely appreciate that with Marcel, being and Funky, because he could have looked at it the other way and been like, I don't want to hang with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that 2 men are just 2 men that can hang together. And that's it. So, but he was like, Funky was like, I ain't come here to really talk about that. I came here to talk about the mess. Because Tisha was sitting there looking like, like, I know he coming over here to talk about, to start some mess. And the mess is about her mama. So, she looking like, child, please. So Funky asked him, because they was like comparing Huntsville to Miami. And then Marcel was like, well, Huntsville's been pretty quiet lately. And Funky Dineva was like, well, I beg to differ. Like, what are you talking about? Because the streets, we see ain't even the streets talking. We done seen video footage all over the internet. He was like, was y'all down there tussling at Madani in the parking lot? And then the people was fighting with mamas. And Tisha, I heard your mama's the one that got it started. So once again, we hear the story. So then Funky Dineva said, women unknowingly put men in dangerous situations because of the cattiness. But I'm actually with Tisha on this one. She didn't do anything. So she didn't put Marcel in any situation because she didn't do anything. And when he pulled her to the side and told her to stay out of it, she did. Like, yeah, granted, she was yelling from the sidewalk or whatever, but so was he. She didn't, like, do anything that caused all this. The stuff that was popping off was going to pop off anyway because of her mama and Melody. So it was going to happen regardless. Like, the issue is that y'all just need to stop filming with Miss Wanda. But she brings drama to the show. And without her, quite frankly, like, the season would have been a straight snooze fest. There's nothing else going on. Nothing at all. Granted, it's not good what's happening. We don't want to see all this drama, but there's nothing else going on. Y'all have literally talked about, like, the same things for season after season. So Funky was saying, like, you know what, she's complicit with the mess that Miss Wanda's doing. Like, she's basically aligning with her because you're not putting your foot down and stopping it and putting a stop to anything. So if you you either with her or against her. So it's like, you with her. And then so she's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And they like kind of teaming up on her, and it's like, well, tell her, like, look, basically, like, you're gonna cut her off if she don't stop. Tisha will not do that ever. And it's like, it shouldn't have to be like, okay, well, look, you can't come around if you don't stop. But it's like, look, I guess the way, it's just her tone delivery. Like, I'm going to have to come to you. Like, there's going to be some distance. Like, you can't be around my friend group like that. But don't just be like, look, I don't want nothing to do with you if you don't get it together, mama. Like, that's like, that is crazy. But Miss Wanda is a handful, so it's a catch-22. Let me know what y'all think. What do y'all think Tisha should, how should Tisha go about this? Like, yeah, when it comes to Miss Wanda, she almost turns into, like, a little girl again. Like, she's like a small child. Like, she won't stand up to her mama, like, and tell her that she's just wrong, period. But at the end of the day, like, that is still her mama. Like, what y'all think she should do? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share and tell a friend and tell a friend. Check out my other content, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.